Assalamualaikum semuanya.
Surprise.
Surprise.
Ada bayi.
We have a baby.
We have a daughter. Teman-teman, alhamdulillah minggu lalu aku melahirkan anak pertama kami dengan selamat, dengan sehat. Dan di video kali ini kita mau nyeritain pengalaman gimana melahirkan di Jerman.
If you like our videos, please don't forget to subscribe. So we experienced a lot of things in the hospital and
semua prosesnya itu nggak beda banget dari di Indonesia. Ini anak pertamaku, jadi aku belum pernah melahirkan di Indonesia. Tapi melihat pengalaman teman-teman aku yang melahirkan di Indonesia, setauku ada beberapa hal yang beda gitu dari di Jerman.
as much as I know in Indonesia, they prefer like surgery often.
Most of them.
In Turkey as well, like if they feel like the woman is uncomfortable, they don't wait a lot for the natural birth.
Sebenarnya itu sih yang paling utama perbedaan dari melahirkan di Jerman dan Indonesia. Kalau di Indonesia kan begitu ibunya perutnya sakit, nggak langsung operasi sih, ada berbagai tindakan gitu. Tapi dokter bisa langsung cepet gitu mutusin, oke, ini bisa langsung sesar gitu, ini bisa langsung operasi. Tapi kalau di Jerman sebisa mungkin ngelahirin normal. Mereka benar-benar memprioritaskan melahirkan normal daripada operasi gitu. Nggak tahu kenapa juga.
Another thing is visiting times. You have like very limited visiting times in the hospital. It was between 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. 7 p.m. So no one can enter your room or like the area.
Even husband. Jadi kalau di Indonesia kan bisa keluarga itu datang berbondong-bondong gitu kan, masuk ke satu ruangan, nungguin si pasiennya sampai.
But for the husband can enter more than normal visitor.
But still you got time limit.
Yeah, exactly. There. There is time limit. Yeah.
Kalau di Indonesia kayak nggak ada limitnya kan, keluarga sampai bisa nginep.
I could stay, but we needed to pay extra. The rooms are for 2 people. For us, I was in the hospital with them.
Intinya nggak semua orang bisa masuk, nggak semua orang bisa nunggu si pasiennya. Terus juga habis melahirkan kan pulang. Nah sebenarnya pas pulang itu umumnya di Jerman itu ada perawat atau midwife yang datang ke rumah untuk bantuin gitu selama I don't know for how long Hebami can come to the house usually
2-3 months first and then you can apply again. So it's for a long time period, but you need to apply it before pregnancy even.
Kalian harus daftarnya duluan gitu. Waktu kalian masih hamil harus daftar dulu biar dapat nurse atau midwife waktu kalian melahirkan. Jadi udah didaftar gitu. Oh, ibu yang ini nanti dapatnya suster yang ini gitu.
There was a midwife already in the hospital. They were so helpful.
Suster-suster yang bantu ngajarin aku kayak gimana ganti bajunya, ganti popok, kayak gimana ngurus bayi ini secara keseluruhan gitu, termasuk ASI dan lain-lain gitu. Terus juga nggak cuma suster, dokter-dokternya juga ganti-ganti datang terus gitu ngelihat bayi, nanyain aku kondisinya gimana, terus mereka ngecek macem-macem lah. Dan juga dokter-dokternya itu ngajarin aku kayak suster-susternya tadi, cuman lebih detail gitu. Kayak mereka ngajarin tentang ASI, kalau umumnya kesalahannya di mana, benernya gimana, terus cara gendong dan lain-lain tuh sebenarnya udah lengkap. Jadi setelah melahirkan, aku masih 3 hari di rumah sakit. Ismail juga di rumah sakit 3 hari. Dan juga enaknya aku nggak perlu bawa barang banyak gitu. Like we don't need to bring a lot of clothes for me, for the baby.
Before we went to hospital, I called. I said, "Do we need something? What do we need?" They said, "You don't need anything. Just come to hospital."
Iya, jadi cuma datang melahirkan, tidur di sana gitu. Soal baju dan lain-lain itu udah lengkap.
The cupboard full of clothes, diaper.
Jadi,
but in order to leave the hospital, we needed to bring our things, of course.
Baby shower.
Baby shower, yeah, exactly. It's like something like this. For example, you can remove this one too. So this part you need to bring to the hospital.
Kalau kalian nggak bawa, bukan ini sih sebenarnya, yang ada di mobil. Jadi yang tempat duduk kayak gini, tapi di dalam mobil itu wajib dibawa kalau mau bawa bayinya pulang. Kalau nggak, mereka nggak akan kasih bayinya. Dan seperti biasa, masalahku yang utama di Jerman ini adalah makanan, karena kita Muslim ya, harus makan makanan halal. Jadi daripada repot, aku bilang aja aku vegetarian gitu. Jadi biar datangnya cuma sayur-sayuran.
The other days you prefer fish, but there is no always fish. That's why.
Setiap pasien baru yang datang, mereka jadi kayak bawa tab gitu, terus ngelis apa-apa aja yang kalian mau, sarapan, makan siang, makan malam gitu. Ini yang beda sih dari di Indonesia. Kalau di Indonesia kan makanan udah ditentukan dari rumah sakitnya ya, setahu aku. Nggak tahu kalau misalkan beda rumah sakit.
In the end, before leaving the hospital, you need to decide, like they give you paper, you need to fill name of the baby, and you need to choose a surname. Like in Germany, there is a first name and surname. You get either the mother's surname or the father's surname, but if they have common surname, it's not problem. In Germany, when you choose, for example, let's say when you choose the father's surname, if you have another baby, that baby gets
it's automatically
the same surname. Yeah. So yeah, we applied for the name in the hospital, and then they sent to the institute. So it was very helpful. The responsible institute is now preparing the birth certificate. Probably we'll get it next week.
Satset banget. Jadi anaknya baru lahir langsung ditanyain identitas buat bikin akte kelahiran lah, sampai udah disuruh daftar TK. Nah itu yang aneh banget buat aku. She was 3 days old and they told me to prepare for kindergarten.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm not even healed.
In Germany, people cannot find place, and kids are starting kindergarten at like when they are 3 years old, and that's why if you apply even now, you might not get place.
There are a lot of kids here.
No, there is lack of teachers. Like there is not that much teacher, and there is not that much kindergarten like in the schools even. So they cannot find people to work. That's why. Another thing in the hospital, as I said, like a lot of doctors, like nurses, they were coming to our room and then asking, do you need help? And they were giving information, and also like they were giving
kita dapat hadiah dari rumah sakit banyak banget. Ini isinya ada, what is that?
This is a small toy for the baby, and a lot of other, like a book. I read, I think most of it. So it's very helpful how to treat your baby.
Cara ngurus bayi di tahun pertama.
And
semuanya udah di situ.
A lot of different like information, how she should lay down, for example, on the bed.
Harus rajin baca lah pokoknya kalau di sini. Bahkan even the baby kali. Bahkan bayinya dapat buku juga.
Education starts from the first day.
This is very early.
In Germany. But this is a very basic book, like the name, like the pictures, you know.
Yeah, hewan-hewan,
the name of basic things. Probably she'll be able to recognize this after like 2-3 months. Nice.
Bayangin kalian melahirkan terus dihadiahi buku. Itu aneh banget buat aku.
Also, this is interesting. They gave us a notebook. Like it's here. You can see all of the doctor inspections until 14 years old. For example, now we did a couple of inspections like in hospital, but in 3 weeks we'll have another inspection, and so on. It's gonna continue. In 4 or 5 months we'll have another inspection, and also written here, detailed. Doctor will see all of the information on this, and then okay, this baby
like the baby body track record basically.
Exactly.
Bayangin ini satu buku, biasanya buku imunisasi kan paling cuma sampai berapa kan umurnya. Ini sampai usia 14 tahun. We got baby pass too. Exactly after.
This is right after the birth. They give us like very small, like how long was the baby, when exactly she was born. Yeah, there is a lot of other information.
Kita belum baca semuanya sih, karena banyak banget.
Where to get help if you need a midwife, for example, how to find the number.
Terus di sini juga ada kayak nomor-nomor telepon yang kalian butuhkan, misalkan dokter anak atau butuh apa-apa aja lah yang hubungannya darurat sama bayi.
They are all about how to wash the baby, for example, how she should sleep. Very short information so that is helpful for the first days.
That's all I guess.
Yeah, I think that's all. So as you can see, guys, it's very structured. Like whenever the baby is born, they check the baby's body. Is everything okay? Her bones, for example, her body movement. Third day they checked again.
The hearing, everything.
Yeah, and there is a special device for that. We hope she grows up fast.
Because now sleepless nights for us. That's all. Our experience giving birth in Germany is really interesting.
We see each other hopefully in the next videos.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Bye bye.